I, 27M, discovered my wife's 30F family was behind my vicious cyberbullying attack. My wife knew, but she hid it for years. How do I move past this? For some context, we've been together 7 years and married 5. We have a child, Nikita Male. She's the most loving, unselfish, and decent person I've ever met. Our relationship was never without its challenges. Our biggest obstacle was her family. My presence was unwelcome. They're very close-knit. And if one doesn't like you, then you're not getting far with the rest. It felt like once their minds were made up, there was nothing I could do. I've long since stopped trying to make sense of any of their reasonings. Family is extremely important to my wife. Her whole upbringing was based on family, so I tried everything in my power to make it work. Shortly before our wedding, I was the target of some relentless and vicious cyberbullying. It got personal. Fake bad reviews polluted my business profile too. It cost me some potential clients. I didn't know where it came from, or why. I couldn't find a solution. I'd report, but it'd take a while for anything to be done, or there'd be more accounts coming out for another round. The whole thing impacted my life and my mental health. It took a toll. My wife was incredibly supportive. She was my rock and my best friend. I loved her even more for her care and how she held me down. When the trolling and everything stopped, I wanted nothing more than to move on. I put it all behind me until the other day my wife confessed that her family was behind the harassment. I didn't believe her at first, but she was serious and showed me proof in their family group chat. It felt like I was right back there again. They were gloating and justifying themselves, saying stuff like, "Some people got to learn the hard way," and "If he wants to join the family, here's his initiation." I knew I wasn't their favourite person, but I never realised they hated me and would go to such extremes. I asked my wife when she found out and if she was a part of it. She swore she wasn't and that she'd never do that to me. She claimed she didn't initially know it was her family until a few months before our wedding. One of my SILs, 28F, left a profile up on her phone, and my wife saw it. She confronted her family and made them stop. I asked why she was telling me everything now. She said it was weighing on her, and she opened up to her eldest sister, 35F, one of the family's black sheep. She threatened to tell me the truth if my wife didn't. Nothing my wife said made it better. She knew for years what her family did and hid it from me. She kept everything quiet. It hurts more coming from her because she knew firsthand my pain. I was pretty numb. My wife was anxious and kept pushing for me to say something. I told her there wasn't anything she could say right now that would make it okay. What she did was no better than her family. They made my life hell, and her first instinct was to cover for them. She started crying and begged me to understand. She said it wasn't like that, and she was trying to make things right with as little damage as possible, and mend relationships. I wasn't very receptive to her. I told her I needed some time to clear my head. She was against it. She said we could work through this together, but I was firm on space. Space isn't a request she's respected. I'm really trying to understand her side. I'm trying to move past it. But I feel so betrayed. I trusted her more than anyone. I'm my most vulnerable with her. I kept opening up to her about the incident, even after she knew the truth. She encouraged me to let it go and not allow it to have any claim on me. I thought she had my best interest in mind. Now I just see it as her attempt to protect her family yet again. I haven't confronted anyone involved. I don't think they're worth it. But I've made it clear they're no longer allowed to see our son. Now I'm getting texts about how I'm depriving my child of grandparents and aunts over past family spats. One of the hardest parts is the distance from my wife. She's my best friend and partner in every way. Now we're mostly only communicating about our son and other household necessities. She's hurt by my rejection, and she's been crying often. IDK if I'm being unfair to her. I hate all of this. I want to make our marriage work, but I'm questioning our relationship up to now. I'm just really lost. I need an outside perspective. Update. Earlier this week, my wife 30F and I were able to regroup and hash stuff out. I was glad I took the space I did, because even though this situation is still hurtful and feels like a massive betrayal, I was in a better position to talk. My wife thought I was calling it quits, but I told her we were at a crossroads and needed to talk things out. She apologised for what her family did and her role in it. She said she never intended to hurt me. She'd convinced herself she was protecting me from more pain. She realises now she was largely protecting herself. She admitted she had been afraid of telling me the truth because she thought it wouldn't just end the wedding, but that I'd end the relationship. She lost other relationships and friendships over her family. She didn't want to lose me too. Over the years, she wanted to tell me, but kept talking herself out of it. And then the cover-up kept getting bigger. And she didn't know how to confess. I told her I didn't agree with her choices, and I wished she had more trust in me and our relationship. I meant it too. I wouldn't have just ditched her. She asked, where do we go from here, and promised no matter the outcome, there wouldn't be any more secrets between us. I told her I wanted to work on our marriage. But things needed to change. We couldn't survive with her family looming, and I didn't want our son exposed to them. She asked what I needed of her. I was never big on ultimatums, and I don't really consider this as one, but I was adamant that any path of us moving forward together would mean radical boundaries with her family. She was honest that the thought of making this big of a move against her family was scary, but said if it's between them and us and our son, then she chooses us. Her agreement was major for me because I really didn't know where she'd land if she had to choose. I never wanted to put her in that position, but after everything her family did, I feel there was no other way. I have hope that my wife is being for real is because she sent a text to their group chat stating to stop blowing up my phone, and that the no access to our son until further notice is a joint decision she fully supports. She did it on her own. Of course, they didn't like it. Now she's labelled as disrespectful and ungrateful. And they're saying the black sheep eldest sister, 35F, and I are poisoning her against them. It was also said, what kind of man takes a woman away from her family over a spat? This isn't a spat. Nor do I have anything to prove about manhood. They led a whole campaign designed to ruin my life. Their actions are chilling to me. These are the same people who looked me in the eye with a straight face while everything was going on. This is about protecting my family. My wife has gone low contact. Her family has this mindset that significant others or friends come and go, and it's family who is the constant and where loyalty should be. They can't seem to compute that my wife, our son and I are the core family. They're extended family and they don't have a claim over our son. Being involved with him is a privilege, not a right. IDK what their exact issue is with me. When I first met them, one of my wife's siblings, 28F, said they thought my wife was settling for me because of age and that she could do better. Our plan is to move to a new area to create a healthier distance, cement boundaries, and have a fresh start. I brought up therapy too, we'll be officially starting that soon. I think moving away will be beneficial for us. I know my wife is more than just her family. I've seen it firsthand. She shines so bright when away from their influence. If I'm being honest, I DK how things will turn out. I'm still hurt. I still feel betrayed. And my wife's facing her own challenges with low contact, but I want to be hopeful. I don't want to close the door, I'm hoping we can heal together.